Forward.
Oh,
That was weird.
It's a new thing that just started happening, I think yesterday or something.
Oh,
I
really?
think they did like, it's like a security update or something, just so
Oh,
people are
okay.
aware.
the
This
robot's
meeting is
speaking to
being
us.
recorded, everyone.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
let's do screenshot.
Should we do two? We'll do like a normal one and then a crazy one.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. All right, ready? Normal one. 3, 2, 1. Okay, done. Crazy one.
Not sure what to
I
do.
love this. I love this. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, love it.
Beautiful. All right, I'm going to hand it. Lewis, you're doing demos today, right?
Yeah, I'll be
Yes.
doing demos.
All right, I'll hand it off to you, Lewis.
Okay, so since there are no really groups for this week, does someone want to start with the presentation?
I would love to.
Okay.
All righty.
And I haven't seen the PRs for from today, so I reviewed the PRs from yesterday. So if you want to also review to go over the PRs that were made today, that would be good too.
Okay, yep. So I present to you Avocard.
Oh, I didn't see the animation.
And now I'm going to refresh it for the next
Do it
20
again.
minutes. Again, I'll do it one more time. I can't get enough of it. It was just unveiled like 15 minutes ago. All right.
Yeah.
So Avocard is a shopping organization app. And for this app, the feel that we wanted to kind of give the user was just like a fun, vibrant, and clean look, as you can see from the general design of it. And let's get started. So when you first open the app, and if you're a new user, it will ask you, do you want to create a new list, or do you want to join an existing list? Because in this app, one of the features is that you can share a list between two people or multiple people, and they can update and add to the list. Alrighty. So once you create a new list, it basically first takes you to the list page. Currently, you don't have any items that have been added, but this handy dandy button that we have over here, if you were to click on it, it takes you to the add page. Now, Lewis, you mentioned you were asking about the PR. So one of the things that we did was for the nav bar, there was an issue where it wasn't showing the active navigation because nav links wasn't from React Router was not a feature we could use. So we kind of had to play around with that. Anyways, back to this. In the spirit of this app, I'm going to add an avocado. And you can select when you are going to buy it. So this is going to these radio buttons correspond to a certain value in the backend, and they will and that value will be used to calculate, at least in the beginning, your the frequency of purchases and when the app like expects for you to buy the item. So if I were to say avocado soon and click add, it gives you a little naughty stack, a little snack bar that confirms that the avocado has been added. So if you go over to the list, avocado is right there. Now let's add a couple more things. Mochi ice cream. What else do we want? What do we want, folks?
Something chocolate, right?
Yeah, chocolate. Let's also add chocolate. And And let's do kind of soon. I don't know, bread. All right. So once those items have been added, you can go over to the list, and the list basically breaks down your items based on when you need to purchase them. So over here it says items for next week and items for next month. So Daria actually tweaked the provided library component that was given to us that estimates the amount of time. So the previous one, originally, it was actually pushing all of these down to inactive, and then it would start calculating them. But she will go more into the details of the changes that were made there. Anyway, so if, for example, I were to be purchasing something like avocado, you can click the check mark, and within 24 hours, after 24 hours, it will be moved to the next, it will be removed from the list items for next week. I'm not gonna ask you folks to be sitting here for 24 hours. So yeah, so another thing that you can do is you can delete. So we've got these icons over here, the delete icons. And it will prompt you saying, are you sure you want to delete this item from the list? One of the reasons we actually added this, we thought it was a neat thing, because especially when you're using a phone, like a touch phone, like you can tap the wrong item and you might delete the wrong thing. So that's a terrible user experience, and we wanted to kind of give the user a little filter of whether they want to actually delete it or not. So if they said they actually want to delete it, you can click yes, and it will remove it from the list, and you can see avocado successfully deleted. Now, one more thing on this page is that you can actually filter your items. We use a fuzzy search method to actually remove, to basically filter out the items. So you don't necessarily even have to start from the beginning of the exact word. So if I said milk, it will say chocolate milk. If I said chocolate, it will pull up chocolate and chocolate milk. Now, one really neat thing that was added to this app was share your list. Originally, we had to go into local storage and actually pull up the tokens. We felt that this was not the best user experience. I mean, we could always provide the user with instructions and a little zappy GIF on how to do that, but I think that would be a terrible user experience. So if you were to copy this, I really like this. Click copy, and it will just copy it, and then you can basically, you can just, as you can see over there, it has been copied to the clipboard for the user. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of how the app, going through the app, how it's being used. Actually, let me go back on it and let me remove the token and show what it's like when you actually have a token that you want to use. So if you want to join, oh my God, look at that. That's amazing. Okay.
So good.
I actually did this not to show the token, sharing token feature. It was just to go back to that. All right, so then you can just paste the token and then you join the existing list and it brings you back to that. So yeah, so someone can basically edit it remotely. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it from Avocart. As you can see, it's a pretty clean, fun look. We decided on this color palette based on the avocado. I think the inspiration for that came up when I think it was it Lauren or was it one of the mentors that shared this ridiculous GIF called Bravocado. I couldn't get enough of it. It's hilarious. Yeah, so that became our mascot. And yeah, so then we decided to just go ahead with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's something that I've missed, please, my teammates can help me out. If not, I will pass it on to Caitlin to talk about accessibility.
And I am going to mysteriously pass it over to Abby and save my accessibility talk for later.
Oh, yes, because that was the order.
Curran, if you could keep like your app up, like your page up, that would be awesome. Sorry to have you keep sharing your screen. I'm unfortunately on a laptop right now. But unless you guys all want to look at your beautiful faces, I could share my screen. Okay, so Curran just showed us like the finished product. And you know, when you look at the finished product, it's you only see the good stuff. So I'm going to get into some of the, well, probably one of our biggest issues is the difficulty that we had with material UI and stylized components. So we went ahead and decided to use both. We really kind of started struggling when we realized it was difficult to override a lot of the material UI components, especially with our trying to use like our color palette and like the fonts that we wanted to use. So we're really grateful when Lewis stepped in and showed us how to utilize a palette and font family variables for the typography for our app, and utilizing global styles. So we could like use it to the app much easier and override all the material UI, like specific colors and fonts. But due to a global styles conflict between like the styled components and the material UI, we created like a color palette and added a layout for like general styling for like different screen sizes and everything. But then we realized to like properly override them, we needed a theme, a material UI theme. So we again had to make another change. And so finally, after like creating this theme, it was working. But then we had also a few difficulties like throughout the app, like depending on the view. One of the major ones was probably, I would go ahead and say, the nav bar. And not only the nav bar, like with the appearance and like the positioning, but so actually Curran had to go ahead. I don't want to talk too much about it because I feel like he like really like spearheaded and like got it working, but he had to reroute like the app and integrate the React router to use the material UI like nav tabs. So that was a lot of work. So kudos to him. So that was like a big component that like, I think going in, we thought it would probably take a lot less time. And then when, you know, we had gotten that working, we discovered like small things, like even very recently, just like the positioning of the nav tabs itself, and of our list. The icons were showing up over our list. So we did, as Curran likes to say, MacGyvering a little bit and got it working. And there was, I think, more issues with like the welcome screen and the positioning of like the using like the viewpoint, like when we opened it with like the margins, and a lot of difficulty with like responsiveness going from desktop to mobile view. And then like personally, I had a lot of trouble with, I was responsible for sharing like the share your token view. and I had put in a simple text field, but then I wanted to use a material UI component, so it would go nicely with the rest of our app. But the copy to clipboard function had to be changed in order to use the material UI component. So thankfully our MVP Daria came through and helped on that. So yeah, is there anything, I feel like we could probably talk about all the difficulties with material UI and stylized components all day. But does anyone else have something they want to point out specifically about it, or did I cover?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I think like an hour ago, you guys were mentioning maybe not using Material UI at all. So I was wondering, do you think you regret using Material UI? You think you would have rather used style sheets on their own, or do you think Material UI was a good choice?
I think, I just because my mic is on, I will speak. I think Material UI is a awesome tool if you have a little more experience in it. I think the palette and the themes that they allow you to use and how you can make such a great app with it. I just don't think, me personally speaking from my point of view, I thought I knew more than I did, and then I realized I didn't. So I think it has the potential, but maybe for this app, we could have gone another direction to make it a little less stressful.
Yeah, I think Material UI is super powerful, but where we ran into challenges was when we tried to customize it. So having a very specific idea of what we wanted and then trying to get Material UI to match that is where we ran into challenges. So yeah, that would be something I would keep in mind in the future.
I'd like to just add to that. I would like to give Material UI the benefit of the doubt because it is used a lot. From our experience, what we have found was one of the reasons we ended up using Material UI was because it was a dependency that we were already using, and it was being used in the Notice Stack / Naughty Stack component, the snack bars. So if you look at it, the look of it, the rest of the style of the page really doesn't veer too far from the snack bars in terms of the rounded edges and the clean look of it. So considering that, it really made it very, very difficult to play around with. In fact, I would say that the code would have been a lot cleaner if we ended up going with just, I don't know, plain CSS or styled components and just started working from that, because there was a lot of extra code that was going into accommodating Material UI.
I think also one of the reasons why we had to fiddle with Material UI so much was because we had an idea of what we wanted the app to look, and we were trying to look like, and we were trying to make Material UI do those things. But if we approached our design process differently and just took some boilerplate Material UI components and just put them all together in an order that makes sense, then we probably wouldn't have to change a lot and the process would have been easier for everyone. But then it wouldn't look as awesome.
I can pass it over to Caitlin if no one has anything else they want. Or, oh no, is it Daria?
I'm just like the team, pointer. I'm going to pass it over to Daria now.
Thank you, ladies. So I would like to talk about a few things that we changed in how we interact with Firebase in the last couple weeks, and I need whoever is sharing the screen, I need you to stop. Thanks. So in the last couple of weeks, we were going over the remaining issues that kind of had built up in GitHub, because we were coming across them and thought that we would fix them later. And the last 2 weeks were the time when we actually had to fix them. So the first of those issues was related to the fact that when we create a new user token and when the user creates a new list, it does not get immediately added into Firebase. Instead, we only add it when we add the first item to it. Because in Firebase, you cannot really create an empty collection. So you cannot create a collection that does not have any items in it. And that's why we were creating the list when the first item was added. But it was not the best user experience, and there were some errors popping up. So we decided to change that by using this kind of dummy document called list data that had one item in it, and it was the date when the list was created. In our app in particular, it's not used in any way, but theoretically in a larger app, probably it would be useful eventually. But by adding this document to Firebase, we were just able to create a list right away and not wait until the user adds something to it. And then in the app component, when we retrieve the shopping list from the database, we added this condition: if we're not looking at list data, then we parse our grocery items, just to avoid errors when we are looping through the whole collection in the database. Then another issue was fixing the purchase estimate calculation for when an item is just added to the list. And the reason why we decided to do that was because we have a smart shopping app, and the user tells it that they want to buy something, and they immediately set an interval in which they want to buy it. So we have fields here for soon, kind of soon, and not so soon. But actually, when adding items, all of the items were going into inactive. And we wanted to change that, because if the user already is telling us that they want to buy something in a week, it should show up in their list in the right section right away. So what we did here was, when we are adding an item, it has another field that we didn't have before, that is called date added. And it only is updated once when we add the item, and it holds the date when this item was added. And then when we go over our list and we are doing purchase estimates for all the items, if we don't have any dates in our purchase dates yet, then we use the date when the item was added to calculate the interval here that we are then passing to our estimate function. And finally, when we are showing items in the list, sorry, I forgot where it was. when we are showing items in the list, we are looking at how much time has passed between now and when the item was added, if there are no other purchase dates available. And then we sort the list based on the remaining time. Yeah, so that's basically all the Firebase issues that we dealt with in the last 2 weeks. And now, if nobody has any questions, I'm gonna pass it on to Caitlin.
The moment you've all been waiting for. All right, let me share the screen. I'm going to talk to you all about some of the work we did for accessibility. And just to kind of set the stage, some of the points that Lauren had mentioned to us last week about what to think about when we're thinking about accessibility, that I think our team in general did a really good job of considering along the way as we were building the app, and the mentors also did a really great job of reminding us of these things. But I think one of the #1 things is to use semantic and valid HTML and not trying to, turn a div into a button or anything like that. It's just trying to use the HTML as it's intended, always using alt attributes in image tags, using ARIA attributes as necessary, making sure that everything is reachable by a keyboard, ensure that the content and tab ordering makes sense, use sufficient color contrast, and then don't only use color to signify state. Make sure that there are other indicators as well. And so a lot of those things we had been considering along the way, especially the HTML, but this week we kind of audited our work to make sure that we were meeting those accessibility guidelines. As you can see here, we were able to use the Wave browser extension to run checks on our code. And this was really helpful for us, especially in finding any, for example, if we forgot to use an alt image tag, or if we didn't have appropriate color contrasts. We actually today had to update some of our theme colors to make sure that there was appropriate contrast between, for example, this text color here and the background here. We darkened the color of green that we were using to make sure that it was appropriately contrast with the background. So that's some of the work we did. I would also like to show you all here. Can you all see this screen reader right now? It's a little bit wonky because I'm running Parallels, so this is like a Windows machine on my Mac. So I'm hoping it doesn't crash my computer. But I just wanted to show you how you would navigate our page using just using your keyboard and what it looks like in a screen reader. So let me go ahead and refresh this. And you can see the animation again, it's so beautiful. And if we're using our keyboard to tab through, you can see that we have these two buttons. One is create a new list, and the other is join existing list. And I'm gonna go ahead and create a new list. And here we are. If I tab in here, I can see that I am currently in the list tab. That is what is selected. And it's going to take me to this button that says add button. So I'm going to click on that button. And as I tab, it says item name, edit required blank. So I'm going to add an item, let's say apples, and hit enter. You can see the apples were successfully added, indicator comes up, and the screen reader says alert, apples successfully added. If I continue to tab, I can see here, how soon do you need to buy it? How soon do you need to buy it? Kind of soon, not soon. And I can kind of update that with my keyboard. If I want to continue, sorry, I'm not super used to using a keyboard to navigate the page, but I can go here and I can navigate over to the share tab. And if I hit enter and tap, then it says selected, and it's showing me my my token. And if I hit tab, I can copy and hit enter, alert successfully copied. So I think that there is definitely, we definitely paid a lot of attention to how to incorporate accessibility into our app. As Lauren had kind of mentioned in her presentation last week, this Wave tool is really useful, but these kinds of automated accessibility checks can only do so much, and you really need to consider this as a starting point when you're thinking about accessibility. So for example, one thing that we hadn't considered until we got some feedback from Jono earlier today was that our animation is beautiful and we all love it, but we should also definitely add, and we have added since, but we wanted to incorporate a reduced motion media query for anyone who might be sensitive to the motion in the animation. So things like that are definitely, using these screen reader tools is a really good way of seeing, in practice, how it's going to look to someone who's using a screen reader, as opposed to just using these tools here. So yeah, that is how we approached accessibility. I think that it's in a really good place, and we definitely, as we continue to use the app, we might find other ways of incorporating further accessibility considerations. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, oh dear, I can't figure out how to stop sharing my screen. Okay. Yeah, did anyone have any questions about that?
That's amazing. I love that. I love that the team paid so much attention to accessibility, but then, didn't just do automated checks and actually kind of like look to see how the screen reader perceives the page and stuff. That's going above and beyond. Awesome look. And everybody's demos, I mean, it's just blown away. It's great. So good.
Yeah, I love that you demoed the NVDA and the just like not having it do the oral stuff, but it showed what the text was. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah,
it was a really nice
screen readers
demo.
are really great, but the sound makes my heart rate go up like 1,000%, so I have it muted.
That was really cool. Well done.
Very well done. Super proud of you. You did a lot of work today. Oh, it was so much fun. This is my favorite part of a project, is when it like you get down to this last like 15%, and it takes forever to get that 15% down, and everyone's just like jumping on bugs and trying to resolve issues, and it's just really fun. So much camaraderie. I just love it. It was really fun. It looks really, really nice. I love it.
Is this what it feels like to do a demo on for production on a deadline? Because I don't know about my team, like the rest of the team, but for me, it almost felt like I assembled a car. I never really tested it fully, and I just took it on the highway. And I was like, please stay together.
You just have like, okay, you can only click on these things in this order.
We didn't really
Been
have time to establish the order in which to click on things, so it all was super live and honest.
Yeah.
Caitlin just air traffic controlling everything.
Yeah.
I am also really bad at taking pictures. So there's a couple of people that weren't looking at the camera because I took it too fast. So can we just do one more smiley picture? I am so sorry. Okay, everyone's looking. Okay. We're good. And if there's no more questions, should we segue into the final retro?
Yeah.
All right. I was just double checking the picture. Okay, cool. Wow, I'm so bad at that. Okay, let me share my screen. And also let me get the link, which I'll paste in chat. So link to the retro, pretty similar. We have 20 minutes, so I'm gonna chuck 6 minutes onto the timer. Feel free to turn the cameras off. And then, yeah, we'll come back.
Cool. I'm going to pause recording. Help me remember.
All right. Let me just on my timer. It's going to go off in a sec. Okay. Cool. Ready to go through this retro? Last retro. Okay. So appreciation column. Oh, sorry. People still adding stuff. Just make sure everyone's good. Cool. Okay. You want to kick us off, Abby?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to the mentors for helping us with this app. I feel like there is a lot of parts where it honestly we were stuck on things and you guys just came right in and knew exactly how to help us. And oh, I'm so sorry, of course. They're cheering for you. Yeah, just saying how great you guys are, and our app wouldn't be as great as it was without you.
Awesome. Yeah, but okay, cool. You have the next one as well.
Me again. I'm just, I guess, slow thinker. So I just wanted to say thank you to my team, especially in this last week. I felt so comfortable coming to them with any questions, and now I'm reading it. It kind of sounds creepy. Loved watching them code, but I really enjoyed seeing the differences. And I honestly feel like I'm a better developer from watching you guys and how you think through code and how really you talk about it. And I just think it's been great for my my own skills and everything. So thank you.
So nice. All right, Daria.
Well, +1 to Abby, but also thanks to everyone for being very collaborative and supportive. And I thought that getting this thing done in the last 2 weeks would be a very stressful exercise, but it wasn't, I think, because we are just such a great team.
Yeah, so many claps. Karen?
Yeah, everyone that's been involved in this has been awesome. The energy, the positivity, and just kind of striking the right balance in terms of keeping maintaining a positive environment, but also providing constructive feedback, which I think a lot of groups find hard to get that right blend. So I think that's been great. Thank you to the mentors. I mean, a part of this the past few weeks have been I've been doing this with a full-time job, and it's hard. And the fact that you mentors have given us really in-depth, valuable feedback, despite having families and having a full-time job, I think that's just awesome. So thank you. And that's it.
Any hearts? Daria.
Thanks to the mentors for being available and reacting to this avalanche of PRs that happened in the last few hours. And just helping us to get through this whole last sprint safely and sanely.
I'm still waiting for the 90s web design PR. So
Yeah.
I'll approve that one. All right, Caitlin.
Yeah, so I've said it once and I'll say it again. These mentors are absolute rock stars for doing so much out of the goodness of their hearts. You all have been so generous with your time and energy and knowledge. And I think we've all learned a lot from you, both technically and also, as has been alluded to before, just how to collaborate, giving useful but kind feedback. And all of that. So thank you. And also including Andrew and Stacy in that, this thing that you have created is amazing, and I'm super grateful for it. And then I've also loved collaborating with this team so much. I think we've really vibed very well, and I've learned, something from every person on this team about how to code, how to collaborate, and just how to be a good team member. So yeah, thanks.
Karen?
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to Daria for taking the team over the line. I mean, I don't think anyone was kidding when we said that she has been the MVP, especially over the last couple of weeks. I mean, I only recently I stopped my job hunt, and I can understand how Caitlin and I talk about how busy it is, working full time and actually doing this, but job hunting is draining, and just to be able to have that energy and just churn out something like that awesome animation last minute and it actually working when it merges with everything. Geez, yeah, that's amazing. And not only that, just cleaning up all these issues that had cropped up over the whole course of the development of this app. So yeah, my props. Yeah.
MVP chance. Lewis.
Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate everyone's effort in the past couple of days. I hope everyone knows you don't need to spend more than 5 hours a week on this project, but the app looks amazing, and I hope no one was overworked by this. But I'm really impressed by how it came out, so I appreciate all the effort that was put into finishing the product today.
Yeah, really good point. Andrew?
Yeah. So I don't take for granted that you all chose to spend the last 8 weeks here together. I really appreciate you all, doing that, and just kind of joining the Collab Lab community. Amazing work by this team. Lauren, your teams always have the best demos. I think there's a common thread there, which is you.
Oh,
somehow. I don't know. So I mean, or maybe you just get lucky and have the best people. But
yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and the team. I mean, the way you just in that demo, the way you were all sharing credit with each other about different parts that you sort of owned and things was just so nice. It's really just very generous, and love the way that you all work together. And the mentors. I mean, great work. I mean, this it kind of shows through all the nice things that the team's saying about everything you did and their work. So yeah, thank you all for being here and doing all this stuff. It's so fun to be able to kind of be a fly on the wall for all this.
Yeah, awesome. Glad to hear. And me, Lauren, I kind of stole your format a little bit. So first of all, I just want to say, love the collaboration between the whole team these past 8 weeks. Everyone was so friendly, supportive, helpful. It was so fantastic to see. It definitely made my life as a mentor almost too easy. I was kind of questioning, am I doing this right? I'm not really doing anything, but everyone just was so great. And then shout out to the other mentors. So thanks to Lauren for being an amazing lead mentor, organizing everything, setting up all the meetings and stuff. And also having so much knowledge around accessibility and all that front end knowledge as well. And Lewis as well for being that kind of technical knowledge bank that we all need and helping everyone through with all of these pull requests and code reviews and stuff. So yeah, that's me. Lauren, you're lucky last, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you to Lewis and Jonathan. Jonathan, I just love having you on the team. You bring such great positivity and energy to the team, and it really just feeds into everyone. So I love that. Lewis, you've just been so on top of things all of the time, jumping into Slack, helping people immediately, and on top of PRs. It's just made, like Jonathan said, it's made feeling are we really even mentoring? Are we doing anything right now? So thank you both so much. And then this group is so wonderful. I love how you support one another and just work together, and all of your skills combined have just made this wonderful product. And you're all so skilled in different areas, and the strength of all of you makes this just a really amazing team. Today especially, I've just loved watching the joking and communication happening in Slack. It's been super fun. So I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. So well done. Cool. Well, that's the last one. So let's move on to what went well. Daria, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so I really appreciate the attention to detail that everybody has on this team. And it's one thing to design something in Figma or Photoshop or whatever. It's another thing to actually make it look like that once you've applied all the styles. And I think that we all just were so meticulous with it, and it's great. And like, we have a beautiful nav bar, we have a beautiful background in SVG, and it's all because everyone is was paying so much attention to all the tiniest details, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, seriously. Karen.
Yeah, I mean, every pair of programming I really look forward to this group. And like I came through a boot camp and we did a bunch of paired programming, and there were some sessions where it just didn't jive very well. But yeah, like it's just been amazing. So yeah, I've learned a lot, and I think the great thing was just like us being able to just keep an open mind, and on top of that, coming to a not just a compromise, but a better solution when you combine both strengths. So that's great.
Awesome. Andrew.
Yeah. I mean, the proof is in the app itself. It's amazing. It's professional looking. It works great. That's can't ask for anything more. Really impressed with all the little things that you paid attention to make the user's experience better, and make your own experiences better in the development of it, like adding the ability to copy the token and everything. And then, yeah, just taking the initiative to implement those things kind of beyond, the stories that were already kind of presented to you. That's really great. And then the attention to accessibility, I love that. Love to see it. So cool. It's a great job.
Yeah, I kind of echo that sentiment. Amazing app, amazing demo. All right, Lewis.
Okay, so yeah, I know the next couple of cards talk about Figma, but you should absolutely put that on your resume because the Figma is really amazing. So I think the design work that went into it, along with the discussions that happened prior to the design development, was really well done.
Nice. Lauren?
Yep. Second, what everyone has been saying, the Figma designs and the amount of planning that went into the designs were like, that really set you up for success. I love like seconding what Curran said, that people were really like offering up lots of suggestions, but everyone was really flexible, and you knew that you needed to just kind of make decisions really pretty quickly. I thought that was wonderful, and that demo was really excellent. I loved, Abby, how much time you spent talking about challenges. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Cool. And Caitlin?
Yes, echoing the Figma praise, I think I didn't appreciate it at the time when we were setting it up, how useful it would be, but this past week, like, because it was properly set up, it made it really easy for us to go in and like know exactly what to put into our code. So that was awesome.
Awesome. And Karen, you have a hand up? Yeah.
So I forgot to mention this, but since we're mentioning Figma, we have to give credit to Daria, obviously, and Abby. I was on a call for 3 hours struggling with our SVG background, while Daria and Abby were working on the Figma board. And yeah, I could tell it was a bit of a struggle, kind of getting used to the whole interface. Daria introduced this interface to us, and thank you for that. And Abby just like grinded through the initial like steep learning curve, and I'm sure she can teach a bunch of people how to use it now.
Awesome. And now we're up at time, so I'm just gonna like keep moving through. So Karen, do you want to take the next card on what could be improved?
Yeah, material UI can be improved. Yeah. That's it for me. I don't think I need to say more.
Love it. Mine was kind of like an opening question, maybe a takeaway, but well, I'm not sure like what it was like to do the design in Figma and talk about responsive styling if it was hard, maybe potentially we should have some more resources or presentation around some of those principles for future collab labs. And then Lauren.
Yeah, that is a really good idea, Jonathan. Styling is hard. It takes a lot of time and a lot of attention to detail, and it's super hard. Yeah, I wonder if doing more pairing maybe during the last couple of weeks. Everyone was really busy. I think that it was hard, but anyway, those were my thoughts.
Cool. And then the fun last column, which is a little bit different. What's next for you? So no more action items. What's next, Karen?
It's to get up to speed with my job. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. It's especially the last couple of weeks, it has been a bit of a struggle, kind of just kind of maintaining the standards in the Collab Lab and also like doing work. Part of it is also because I have terrible time management at this point in time. But once I get up to speed, I found like, I don't know, like naturally I'm a pretty like selfish person, but like at the same time, like once like being exposed to like a really great community, like it changes you, and you start to see the benefits of actually helping others. It can be selfish, which is great. So yeah, eventually I would like to actually start helping developers get into the industry and kind of help them kind of like learn what it means to be a good, responsible developer. So that's it.
I feel like there's a quote for the website in there somewhere. We have to kind of extract a few of those words. Yeah, so well, I mean, Collab Lab's going to keep ticking along. We start Career Lab tomorrow. I think some of you at least are participating in that, so that's great. We have another cohort that's going to kick off in July. Talking to someone in New Zealand about lining up some mentors over in that part of the world so we can start maybe branching off into those time zones.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you ever move back there, John, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so and this, all of you, please stay involved in Collab Lab. You're all the veterans now, right? You've been through it. So there's going to be a bunch of people who come after you, and they can all benefit from your involvement. And as you are starting these new jobs or still looking for jobs and things, like we are here to support you in every way we can. So have questions, like you're stuck on something, you just want to maybe practice interviewing a little bit or any of those kinds of things, just pop into one of the channels and ask, and we'll do our best to help you with those things. So and Lauren and I are going to be running an advanced team this summer, so it's going to be super fun. We've done it a couple times. I've done it a couple times before. Lauren and I are doing it together for the first time. I'm so excited to do that with her. And so if you're not too busy, I know the new job thing is pretty busy, but if you're not too busy, there are only 4 slots, but we'll at least consider getting you on that team. It's a lot of fun.
Love it. Kaylin?
Yeah, I'm gonna be continuing onboarding at my job, but I'm really excited to continue putting into practice what I've been learning here, because it's really been an excellent supplementary onboarding for me to be doing the Collab Lab as I'm starting a new job and learning a lot of the things that might get overlooked in a traditional onboarding situation. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Lewis?
Yeah, I'll also be helping out with the Career Lab starting tomorrow, and then I'll be also mentoring the summer cohort. And outside of Collab Lab at my work, I was recently moved to a senior engineer position, so I'm trying to help out with junior engineers as well. So because we're rapidly hiring, so I'm trying to use the experience here to focus on helping out our company as well. So this was also a great learning experience for me.
That's awesome. I won't be doing any formal Collab Lab mentoring, but I'll be around, kicking around the community, helping out where I can. I'm going to be taking some time to finish a bunch of side projects that I started earlier and some YouTube videos. And then I'm also trying to learn how to draw/animate. Maybe both. We're both terribly, but we'll see what we can do. Lauren?
Yeah, so as Andrew mentioned, he and I are going to be mentoring the advanced team this summer. And it's my first time doing this particular project. So I'm really looking forward to learning a ton and maybe working with some new collabs. I start a new job on the 14th. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see, what else?
Working with me at Zapier. So
I
excited.
know.
That's so
So
exciting.
excited. Yes, yes, yes. I'll be working on the design system at Zapier, so I'm super excited. Very, very excited. And I feel like I have so many friends there already. I like know so many people there. I'm really excited about it. And then, yes, once you're in Collab Lab, you are forever a part of the Collab Lab. So please keep in touch. If you ever need anything at all, please, 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 yes, please, like, make sure and jump in either the TCL 22 channel or any channel, and please holler and let me know what you need, and I'd be happy to help. Daria is raising her hand.
Oh, it's just because I do not have time to write down
Oh, so sorry.
my card.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to say that for me, I'm looking for a job. So if anyone is hiring, wink, wink. But also getting into the Collab Lab was my first like actual access to a community of developers. So as a self-taught person, I didn't really have that. I only had like occasional conversations sometimes with random people on the internet about my code. And this has been awesome. And I think that I'm coming out of this as a much better developer and team member than I used to be. Yeah, so I love this community, and I would love to continue being a part of it. And I already met a lot of people even outside of this group. And I think that I will just keep being around on Slack and meet new people as they join and have conversations with them to give them the same sense of community that I got here.
That's awesome. Also noticed Abby didn't have a card on here, right? Yeah. I'm not sure if you want to say a few words, Abby.
Sure. Sorry, I feel like that time went by so fast. I
even cut it short too, sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, like what's up next for me? Definitely I have a new job, so that's super exciting, but I'm not starting until like June 16th. My hiring manager was gracious enough because I had a vacation plan, so I get to actually go on vacation before I start, which is amazing. I haven't been on a vacation about 4 years. But yeah, and I also like, now that like I officially kind of, have my foot in the door with my first job, like I am ready to go to like start helping other developers. Like the process for me to go from like boot camp to like my first job was like, it was, it was a struggle. So I'm so like hyped up to like help other people that need it, and I don't know, help in any way I can. So yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, that's it. That is the retro all wrapped up. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Oh, love this group.
Mhm.
So, oh my gosh, going into that first job, you learn so much in that first job. I remember starting my first job out of boot camp and having to Google every single thing that I had to do on a computer. It felt like I had no idea what I was doing. But you learn so much. So yes, please stay a part of the Collab Lab. The advanced project usually runs every other quarter. We're trying to run the advanced project. So just know that there's one coming up this summer. We have the Career Lab coming up, which is just a really great program. I think it's a wonderful extension of Collab Lab, and please stay involved. And this team has just been so fantastic. Yeah, it's not farewell. It's just, you know, we'll see you soon.
For sure.
Bye for now.
Great job, everybody.
Yeah, great job.
Great job.
Bye.
Nice
All right.
work.
Take
Take
care.
Have a good
Take
long weekend.
care.
You too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Full of
Bye, everybody.
non-Canadians. Bye.
Bye.